Morning guys. British authorities have revealed recently that towards the end of this year there's going to be 80 more convicted terrorists or terrorist plotters back on the streets. Yeah, they've already served their like 5 or 10 year sentence. They've got a third off, I think it is. So they've served the 2/3. And yes, they're going to, in addition to the 23,000 suspected terrorists that are already walking the streets in the UK, and the MI5 and the police, to the credit, are trying to watch and trying to monitor. Sorry to say, there were going to be another 80. Some of these guys are actually convicted killers or have conspired to kill British people or American people on our streets. As we know, a lot of them are followers of Anjem Choudhury's poison flock. Yes, the same Anjem Choudhury who his second in command was Mwazi, who went and was the second Jihadi John. The second Jihadi John who actually killed American and British prisoners and aid workers and what have you. Seriously. Yeah, Anjem Choudhury, Mwazi was his best buddy, his second in command in London. So it's also been released that Anjem Choudhury might be released as early as the end of this year. Well, how the hell is that? He was supposed to serve 5.5 years. So what's the excuse for letting him go after like a couple of years? It's absolute outrage that this poison-breathing, vile-spitting, ideological nut job should be back on the streets, recruiting more fighters, sending more fighters to Syria, encouraging more people to kill British soldiers, because one of his flock was the guy that hacked poor Lee Rigby apart on the streets of bloody London. Are they nuts? Are they nutters? Are they as nutty as these ideological nutters? Anjem Choudhury, with his level of involvement with ISIS and old Hajj Marine or whatever it was, his splinter group, should be bloody executed as far as I'm concerned. Stop this left-wing mamby-pamby nonsense. He even praised, he refused to denounce the actions of Lee Rigby's killer. Do you know that? That's how much of a nut job he is, how much of a supremacist he is. He even says that it's okay for paedophilia, for the followers of his ideology to indulge in paedophilia, because, of course, their prophet did this in their holy writings. Yes, seriously, we didn't tell you this at Antifa school, did they? You Labour Party half-wits that don't know a damn thing about that holy book, unlike me, unlike Tommy, unlike Paul Golding and Jada Franson, who know quite a lot about it, about the massacres, about the perversions, about the child rapes, about the untold massacres, the beheading of thousands and thousands of people on the Arabian Peninsula. It's all in their holy writings. Holy writings. So it's a bunch of disjointed fairy tales and half-truths and hearsay. Because we know, how do you know this? How do we know this? Because it was only written 200 years after the old weirdo died. Yeah, this power freak who loved to attack children, who loved to behead boys, older boys, who killed women, who killed thousands and thousands of men, either by his own sword. He did do some with his own knife or sword. It states this. He smited them around their necks. You know, is there any doubt what he did if he smites someone about their necks? Good God, there's no ambiguity, is there? So yeah, but it's the fact of the matter. There's going to be 18 more of these nut jobs on the streets by the end of this year. As Paul Golding tried to warn us. One slightly amusing thing is Anjem Choudhury has, of course, been put on an internationally notable terrorist list by United States, by our friends in the United States, and when he comes out, I mean, he could actually be rearrested by the USA, as they have, you know, other people, and extradited quite possibly. The US intelligence and CIA have quite a good nickname. These 5 or 6 well, I think it's more than that, 5 or 10 main league, you know, head hackers, terrorists, ISIL, ISIS, Daesh, fighters and supporters, who have all come from the UK, they've called them the Beatles. I'm not sure John Lennon or Paul McCartney would be quite pleased about this, but it is kind of appropriate, isn't it? Because They're infamous, they're all from Britain, and they all follow the same savage, barbaric, ancient, disgraceful ideology. I saw Tommy commenting on the video the other day. You know, this ideology directly opposes everything England, the United States, Britain, Scotland, our values have ever stood for the last like 500 years. It's precisely the opposite. It's a dark, inhumane, satanic force against humanity, and it wants to dominate all of humanity. And it is written. This is all written from like 800 AD. So I'd advise some of you lefties and you people that won't believe this religion of peace does all these atrocities to actually look at some of the links. Look at Islam Watch. Look at some of Tommy's videos. He hints heavily. You could possibly listen to Paul or Jada talking about it, about the Quran, but of course they've been conveniently disappeared by the staff because it doesn't quite agree with their stupid biffer, you know, racist opponent's narrative, does it? It doesn't quite. When they can quote sections of the Quran where it talks about cutting people's heads off, beheading boys, beheading men, how many child victims, yes, that these gangsters took. It doesn't quite go along with the religion of peace narrative, does it? Okay, I'll see you guys. I'll post this and I'll have to keep a couple of copies because I predict it might not be on too long.
You say yes, I say no. You say stop.